I'm Philomena, founder of Kin Apparel. I love
Unlock a new world of efficiency.
Little false start there, but I think we're off to the races now. So, welcome everybody. Hope you guys are ready for conspiracy theories and data analysis, which is what we're gonna do here for however long we feel like it. Gonna get started here. Just kind of overview of what we've done here, just to kind of give everybody kind of heads up. So we took, hang on, so a little better. There we go. Sorry, I'm remote, working from not my standard office location. So here we go again. So took a crack at this. So just kind of give a heads up of what this is. So small group of us. I will fix that soon. I don't know, Neon. We are in the Hilton Garden Inn. Jess, thank you so much. But yeah, so small group of us want to take a crack and take a look and see some. Everybody says right now this room never drops in 7. This is this. It's I got kind of tired of it, and I think a couple other people in the community kind of did too. So we kind of want to understand different things. So we went through and we took 10,000 seeds worth of data. So 10,000 seeds worth of real live data, spoiler log data, non-race ROM data. So this is not live data, and we walked it through and we basically said, hey, what does this look like? So what actually is the truth? What's not the truth? So kind of the hows and whys. We'll jump into that. So again, over 10,000 seeds of real life data. Actual seeds actually generated. We did not play all these seeds, but we generated them all, and they're all real. They're all with the winter tournament flag set. They were all spoiler logged. They were all non-race ROM. Big call out here. Nobody should ever be pulling or trying to extract data from a race ROM seed. We didn't do it here. We don't want anybody doing that. So if you are doing that, please stop. I doubt anybody is doing that, but just wanted to call that out. That is something that the admins addressed about 6 months ago. It is a bannable offense. It will ban you for, I believe, 6 months for your first offense from the Z1R Discord. So do not try to break encryption on these seeds. We used non-encrypted seeds. So what we did was we extracted that, put it in a database, and we threw some analysis together. Why? Honestly, we were just curious about stuff, right? So we wanted to figure it out. The bigger thing is we wanted to share this out to everyone. So we want to kind of get a chance to give everybody on the same level, right? I think some people might have known some of these things. Honestly, there's some things here that I don't think anybody else knew. There were things that I even discovered up till last night. There's things that I discovered this morning, and nobody else in the community knows that it's the case. I don't think. And if you did, you're lying, because no way you did, because you would have shared it, because it's that cool. So with that, we'll jump in, kind of quick overview of the team. So Tetra, huge in data extraction. So she was kind of the catalyst behind this. Without Tetra, nothing we could do. We couldn't have done any of this. So with that, thank you to Tetra, truly key member of this. Neon did the vast majority of the data aggregation, the pulling of the seeds, running the seeds. So honestly, between the two of them, they did 90+% of this work. All I did was make it look fancy and then put some bows on it. So in reality, almost all of the benefit that the community is going to get is as a result of these two. So make sure to thank them if you get a chance. Truly some really good work. And just, kind of giving them a chance to say, thank you here, because they're huge. Moving in. So validation. So we walked through. We looked at things that make sense, things that don't make sense. A lot of things made sense. A lot of things are normal. A lot of things were exactly as you expect. There was a good chunk of things that were wildly different than any of us thought was the case. So some curveballs, a lot of not curveballs. I will tell you that anything that was wildly out of sync, we brought to Fred. Fred likely will have everything that we discovered fixed within the next 3 to 4 days. So all of the anomalies that we've identified, all of the work that we've done, will be for naught because there will be a new version coming out within the next week that fixes all of our problems. So everything that the team identified as anomalies, as unexpected results, will be completely cleared out and fixed in the next release, which should be coming out before the tournament actually starts. Neon said in chat. So once he fixes it, we're gonna run another bunch of seeds through here. We're gonna run some more analysis, and we're gonna kind of figure out some more. So with that, I think you guys heard me yap long enough. So we are going to take our first look at some of the things, some of the actual data. So on the baseline, lots of things, right? I hear a lot of people saying eight Triforces is like 50% of the seeds. It always is there. Some of that's hyperbole, right? And we'll talk through that, but in reality, there is a normal distribution within reason of expectation. In the 10,156 seeds that are in this analysis, everything's even. So exactly 1/4 of the time you're getting each set of Triforces required. 8 isn't more prevalent. 5 isn't more prevalent. In this data set specifically, 5 is slightly more prevalent. It doesn't mean anything. If we pulled another 10,000 seeds, it's just as likely that 8 would be slightly more prevalent. So that part works. No problems there. The 5 to 8, it's a new flag string for most of us, and it works just fine. So there's that piece. Second piece, these are numbers that are going to be true for most mixed quest flag sets, but on average, you are going to have 2.4 levels blocked by a bomb, 1.9 levels blocked by a candle, 0.6 levels blocked by a recorder, 0.6 levels blocked by a power bracelet, and 0.2 levels blocked by a raft, which means from an important item perspective, on average, you will have one seed or one level blocked by an important item in every seed. Again, that's an average. There are seeds with as high as 5 or 6 in this data set. I don't remember the exact top. And there are plenty of seeds with 0, right? There are plenty of seeds where no candle is required. I think I do know there's seeds where no bombs are required as well. So there's seeds where basically anything is possible. But on average, one dungeon will be blocked by an important item. So these are all normal. Nothing crazy here. Ladder, I had ladder on here. There are 2 ladder spots. Each of those ladder spots have a 1 in 3 chance of spawning. Do I have? Let me check I've got the data. The data's still here because I knew I'd screw something up. Data. Let me check the tab. There's many tabs. This is the biggest of spreadsheets, the best of spreadsheets. There are 2.4 million lines in the spreadsheet, just an FYI. So level blocks, ladder, 0.1 seeds. So on average, 1 out of every 10 seeds will be blocked by a ladder. There are 2 spots, right? Each of those spots has a 1 in 3 chance, roughly, of spawning. So that's why that's the case. So assuming no questions here, we can keep moving on. It does not count in dungeon ladder blocks, right? That only counts entering a level, right? A good call out, BBQ. We have the ability to go deeper. I don't know how much deeper we're going to go on that. So with that, we'll move on to some more baseline stats. Quick hit on in-dungeon levels. These are the 10 most popular dungeon levels. So rooms within a dungeon, right? So these 10 rooms make up half of the dungeons, 54% of the dungeon's rooms. So black room is the most prevalent. That is a room with nothing but black background. It also includes all the old men. It includes the muggers. It includes the hints. It includes the bomb upgrades. All of that is considered a black room. 12% of all rooms in levels are black room. And then you got the two fireball, which is the 2 fireball shooters in the middle. 4 fireballs in the corners are your next most prevalent. The plane, The double block is your first push, right? And that's 5% of all rooms. The entrance, right? There is one entrance in every single dungeon. It's the room you walk into. Thank you, Rex. There's the link to what each of these room names mean. So this makes sense, right? This shouldn't be wildly different, right? We're still in the baseline mode. The other piece, so mixed quest caves. So if we think about the overworld, the caves that are both in first and second quest are always going to open, and we all know that. That's normal. The caves that are not in first, that are either not in first or not in second quest, all have a 35% chance of opening. It's all even. It's all within the standard expectations. So there's nothing here, nothing in the data that showed that any one cave is more likely than another to open. I know people say the grave never pushes. The grave pushes. Each grave spot pushes 35% of the time. The bomb spot on the south coast, the far left bomb spot, bombs 35% of the time. All of the second quest bracelet spots push 35% of the time. So nothing out of the norm, right? These are all normal. These are all expected results. Time to start with some curveballs. Wood sword locations. This is the single largest thing that we discovered. So every open cave, there's 20 open caves that will open the wood sword. Each one of those 20 caves has a 4.3% chance of having the sword. There are 3 Armos spots that can spawn the wood sword cave. Each one of those has a 3.3% chance. There are 2 grave push blocks that can spawn the cave. Each one of those has a 1.7% chance. Those percentages all make sense. Everything totally normal, right? That the Armos is slightly lower because it has a 20% chance of being the Armos item, which means it's not a cave. All pretty normal. Nothing crazy here. I mean, wood blocks, wood sword makes sense. Except for the fact that there are 3 open caves that never spawn the wood sword. The Grave Armos, the Armos on the East Coast in the middle, it's the 30 secret in vanilla. It's called the Deuces Armos if you're vanilla speedrunner. And the bottom of the waterfall will never have the wood sword cave. So this is the furthest northwest Armos, the Armos in the middle on the East Coast of the 3, and the bottom of the waterfall will never spawn the wood sword cave. I don't know how long this has been true. I don't know if this is true in Consternation. I don't know if this is new with some new flags. None of these 3 will ever have a wood sword. How many seeds have we run in our collective Z1R whatever, right? And never got that. Like, that was never known, and now we know. This will be fixed in the next 3 days, according to Fred. So, very short-lived advantage to take here, but take it in when you can. Don't bother checking these spots for a wood sword. Crazy. I never would have thought that, but that's the case here. So, once Fred fixes it, we're going to jump to 21 open caves, slightly lower percent chance per cave. Armoses will jump back to 5. Again, it'll be slightly lower than the open caves, and grave pushes will stay exactly where they are. So, I don't know if that changes much math, right? Every open cave is a better spot, so it doesn't really change your routing, but now that we know, it's going to be fixed. So on the plus side, I mean, one of the big pluses here is the things that we found that were anomalies, Fred is going to actively work to address and correct. So kind of cool to see that the results of some of this work is going to turn into a better, more balanced game. Malkier, you're wrong. I don't care if you're right, but you're wrong. So we're just gonna say you're wrong. I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know if it's true, if it's flag specific or not. there's a lot of anecdotal. I feel like this happened. That's the reason we ran these flags. We ran these seeds through the program to understand it and stop the. I think this happened at some point. It's possible. You never know. We don't know when it broke. If it broke at a certain point in time, all we know is that we brought it to Fred, and Fred will be fixing it. So we're good. And then we can stop talking about it once it's fixed. All right, next thing. Item breakdowns. I buried the lead on this one a little bit earlier. The heart container is the biggest thing. As of right now, the heart container is in 9 only 1.5% of the time. You would expect that heart container in 9. That's actually that's a typo. We expected it 20% of the time. There we go. Fix that. So where does that heart container go if it's not spawned in 9? There are 4 spots where it goes. Armos, Coast, and White Sword Cave all have about double the chance that you'd normally expect to have a heart. 2 items in 9 and 10 unimportant items XL. That's why. There are 10 unimportant items, and of those 10 unimportant items, 2 of them are always in 9. So the overworld spawns the Coast Heart 43.9% of the time. The other one that jumps out, and this will make some people happy, the Never 7 crew happy. The heart container spawns in 7 16% of the time. And you expect it about 6.5% of the time. So between the two, right, between the overworld and level 7, the heart container is in one of those spots 60% of the time. Every other level gets the heart container less often, with the exception of 1 and 3. 1 and 3 have a normal distribution and expected distribution. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9 have less overworld hearts than you would expect. Don't know why. It sounded like it was a Monty Hall problem, potentially. It's above my pay grade, so I'm going to let Fred fix it. Fred is working on this. This will be fixed. The last one, technically a statistical anomaly. I don't know if it's a problem or not, but the ladder is in 1 18.5% of the time from an expected 16%. It's statistically significant, just barely. So it's just barely outside of the 99% confidence interval. So technically it's significant. Technically it's, according to our data set, likely that there's something there that's forcing the ladder to 1 more often than not. Don't know why, but it's there slightly more often. So if you're looking for a ladder, 1 is your best bet. Significantly more, not significantly, a couple percentage points better than any other spot. We are still working on significantly more data. These were the biggest findings, right? The other big things that we wanted to kind of prove out and that we're still working on and we'll be finishing. Big ones are, do rooms that drop, do the rooms that people say don't drop, right? And I'll get a list. There'll be a spreadsheet of that out of these rooms drop, these rooms don't drop. For example, the Gliok room does not drop in 1. The Gliok room does not drop in 5. It drops in every other room. Things like that. The Triforce room, right, will always have something in it, right? So the Triforce room is the room in vanilla where you get the Triforce. It will always have something in it. If it's a standing item, it can be anything. If it's a drop, which is a drop about 10% of the time, it'll always be the map. The only time that a Triforce room can spawn nothing, and this is new to me because I didn't know this was a thing, 48 times out of 10,000 seeds, the Triforce room dropped nothing in level 9. No idea. No idea why. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's the case. So that is what it is. Like I said, those stats, it's kind of a deep level of stats. We'll get through it and basically share that out, right? Of 5 pair only drops in 1. We all know that. Things like that. The one thing I will tell you is that a drop item is slightly more than twice as likely than a standing item to be in any given room. So about 2/3 of the time, if there's an item in the room, it's going to be you have to kill all the enemies for it. About 1/3 of the time, it'll be yeah. Huh. That's the answer. Okay, I'm not very smart. Thank you guys for knowing things that I didn't know. Apparently, the Triforce room piece in 9 is only when the Triforce room is adjacent to Zelda's room. So, thank you guys for that. That's basically the end of the prepared comments. There's more data here. We're gonna walk through more data. We'll share more data. While we're here, before we close out, any data questions you guys have that you would like to see answered? I'm happy to kind of spend a couple of minutes, as many minutes as you want, walking through some more deeper cuts of the data. I can do some live spreadsheeting. We can do that. No making fun of my spreadsheeting, but we'll be all over it. So any conspiracy theories out there, let's get them out now while we got time. Great question, Nim. I'll bring that back up. Tetra and Neon did the vast majority of the work. They did 90% of the work. And I did the last 2%. All right. Drop room data. We learned Goma room doesn't drop. Anything similar to that? Goma room never drops. Yep, we knew that. I feel like most of the other rooms we kind of knew, right? Single block obviously never drops. 3 rows never drop. I've got all of that data, Malchior, and I'll share that all out in a spreadsheet so that everybody can have equal access. What enemies end up in the overworld versus dungeon sets? Tracy, that's a great question. I don't have that readily available, but we'll get there. We can dig that out, not too hard. It's definitely doable. The Gobbler is asking, why is the good stuff always in Death Mountain? I don't know that answer. Sorry. Tetra, I was thinking about it. I mean, if we have the enemies in levels, we don't really need the enemies in the overworld because it's the opposites. Yeah, Neon, same response, right? So we've got that. Here, let me share the no droppers and we'll kind of dive in. So give me a second, make sure this is all clean. Window capture, jump to the other Chrome. Oh, we are. That is not pretty. Almost there, guys. We're getting there. We're doing it live. I don't know what we're doing anymore, but holy cow, that's a big spreadsheet. This is why I'm not a pro streamer. There we go. There we go. Okay. So Mel, what I'll tell you is you can definitely go through these with the data I'm providing, and you can definitely figure it out. Couple of really jumpy ones for me. Diamond Stair somehow dropped once. I have no idea why it dropped once in 1, but it dropped once in 1. It's not supposed to drop in 1. It dropped once in 1. No idea why. Right? The diamond stair had a drop once in level 1. I'll gladly share that seed and flags, and somebody can go find level 1 and dive in and figure it out, because that's crazy. But yeah, everything else kind of made sense, right? Everything else kind of lined up with the expectations, right? I was trying to fill that out here, but I just kind of ran out of time, and I didn't want to push this out another day. So we know what the. Please tell Tetra what this room is. Rex pulled it for me. I just forget what it's called. It's the. I think it's the moat, the second quest moat, where you can walk to the left out of it. Is that correct, Rex? I forget. All right. Dungeon level location potato. We have that. Anybody else? No questions before that. So dungeon level location from Potato Pony. I have that here. Dungeon level locations. Here they are. Make sure this looks good on your side. Wood sword cave, white sword cave. We can hide these for now. So here's the locations. It's messy, but this is the hexadecimal location of the level. So if you think about it, right? So this is level 1 is room 1 is upper left. Room 2, you just move to the right, and it's hex. So the first chunk, right? Here, I can do this. Let's see if this will help us understand it. Let me see if I can. See how we can do this. Where is 8? 8's over here, Nim. Oh, 8 is 8. 8 is not a non-dropping room. Nim. 8 is an overworld spot that does not have a cave. So looking through this, nothing massively jumped out, right? I mean, the things that don't always spawn, like these, for example, have lower numbers. This volume is just not high enough. We only did 1,000 seeds of this, and it's just not high enough to tell you that this is statistically significant, right? 3C is not 4 times more likely to have level 3 than it is to have level 2. 3C is vanilla level 2, right? So vanilla level 2 is not 4 times more likely. It just happened to do that in our flags. I think we need more data to tell us that answer for sure. Same thing with 3D, right? I mean, none of that is enough. We do need more seeds. I am scared to do more seeds because this data is over 1 million lines on 1,000 seeds. So, again, as long as there's no qualms from Z1R admins, we'll share all of our raw data. At a minimum, I'm planning on sharing the PowerPoint as well as the spreadsheet of drop findings to give everybody everything we got. So we're not going to stop here. We'll keep digging. We will always find more. I think we're probably done pulling seeds before Fred makes the changes. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea here is transparency for everybody, right? So everybody is going to have full access to all this stuff, and we want to make sure that you guys have all the data that we've been able to pull and kind of put it together. So yeah, I mean, you guys, I mean, we didn't want to do this in a vacuum. We didn't want to leave this alone. We wanted to give you guys as much data as possible. With that, I'm not seeing a ton more conspiracy theories in chat. If you've got them, keep dropping them. Otherwise, we'll probably call it here. Again, Tetra and Neo, the true champions here. Thank you guys for everything you've done. Did I determine a creed distribution? No, Mel. That's something that is on the list. We could do it live. Let's do it live. Why not? Let's do it live. We're doing it live. Let's go, Mel. Insert pivot table. Let's go. Level. There we go, Mel. There's your number. You probably can't see everything. Let me get back to the screen so I can. Give me 1 second to make sure that you guys can see all this. There we go. So that right-hand side. All right. Key distribution. Here we go. Key distribution by seed. Total rooms in dungeon. Great call out. We want total rooms in dungeon. Blah, 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 blah. So that's keys per room, right? Total rooms. Rooms per dungeon. No. Rooms, dungeon. Keys per room. Equals sum of this. That. There. There. There's your math. D key, yep. So the Tetra, great call out. Yep. So here's what we got. So our best dungeon for keys per room is level 1. Our worst dungeons for keys per room, or the worst dungeon is level 2. Most keys in any level is level 8 and 9. Key total add up per seed. There you go. What is that? 36, 40, 32, 42, 43 keys. 16 free keys, 16 to 17 free keys, 26 drop keys. This is from the 10,100 data set. Can I add locked doors? Not right now, Tabby, I can't. It's available. The data is there. I do not believe that we are currently extracting it. So we would need to lean on updating that. Yumi question: Does the find any key in the Yumi has a question. Does the Chevy room drop Triforces more than others? Let's go. Item summary. Those are good items. Back to here. Give me question. Room name. Let me get rid of. There we go. Chevy room. There are 45,000 Chevy rooms in our data set. There are 1,369 standing Triforces. Let me do some math here. So 1,369 and 1,177 drop Triforces. 45, 537. Chevy room, 5.6% of the time. Chevy room, 5.6% of the time drops a Triforce. All rooms. We'll just give her a room name. $2.36 million rooms. 236, 291. That's not right. There's one more digit there. Math is hard. 23629 2360 291. Sorry, this data is not easy to deal with, so that's why I'm not doing calculations in the actual live file. These Triforces should equal 10,000 times 9, 91,406. 91,406 equals this divided by this. Just shy of 4%, but then you got to remember that there's all those rooms that don't drop anything. So if you take out the rooms that do not drop anything, the answer is likely no. We'll do the rest of the math. We'll get there, but the answer looks like no. I do have stats, and I'll pull them and send them on what percent of the time do rooms drop, because certain rooms drop significantly more often than other rooms. Those stats will be available. Those will be pushed out as well. Honestly, just ran out of time, and with Fred close to fixing all the problems, I wanted to get the problems out there so that people had them before Fred fixed them all. So with that, if no other questions, we will probably call it at that. Yeah, right. You got it, because the number of times you got to double dip it. That makes sense. Drop versus standard versus empty of Chevy. Drop versus. I can do that quick. Well, we got room for one more. Let me get back to it. Drop type. Room type. There we go. I'm looking for Chevy, right? Chevy, Chevy, Chevy. There you are. Same 45,000. We have no drop is 17,000 out of 45,000. So it does not drop 38% of the time. It That's not right. I fixed the wrong variable. There we go. It does not drop 38% of the time. It has a drop 40% of the time. It has a standing item 20% of the time. You guys can't see any of that, so there we go. And doing this for all rooms, right? That's not right. That's not updating at all for some reason. I don't know why. It's fine. We'll figure it out later. All right. With that, we're gonna call it. More to come. Right, we're not done here. Probably won't be putting out streams, but we will put out just snippets and things like that. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you guys for popping in. Hope everybody learned something here. I certainly learned a lot. And I appreciate, obviously, Neon Tetra for doing all the things that they do. With that, let's go watch some Zelda. Let's go say hi. What do we think? Andy, Druis, Shaddy. Let's go with one of the best conspiracy theorists out there. Let's go say hi to Shaddy. Thanks, everybody.